Hey guys, ModX Gaming here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to mod your new 2DS or new 3DS XL. You're probably wondering why I'm so close to the camera. It's because it won't focus when I go like 2 seconds away, look. So yeah, I'm going to go fix that really quickly because it would be kind of awkward like this the whole time. Ugh. How long is this video? 7 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on how amazing my editing skills are. Right, there we go. That's much better, isn't it? Got a new camera as well, if you could notice, and I got a new mic. Quality's going to be out of the roof, out of the wazoo recently. How would I say that? As a matter of now, the quality of my videos will be rocketing through the wazoo. Cut that out. That's a good one. Okay, I'm actually going to fucking do the video now. Bye. But yeah, before I start this video, you're going to need an SD card adapter, SD card reader, and your 3DS or 2DS. First thing you're going to want to do when you're on your PC is hit the first link in the description and then download GUIFormatter. Then once you've done that, you want to choose your drive and then you want to choose your allocation size. I just choose the biggest one because it's the fastest. And then press start and then close and then take your SD card out of your PC. Now let's head back over to the DS. Once you're on your DS and you're on the home menu, it should come up with this buffer screen which says loading the SD. Now that you've done this, you're going to want to take your SD out and plug it back into your PC. Before we move on to the next part, I just need to say that you need to connect to the internet and you also need to have it updated to the latest version. So if it's not on the latest version, you should probably do that now and connect it to the internet. So yeah, I made a mistake myself. So yeah, without further ado, let's get back to it. Okay, now that we're back on the PC, you want to go to your files folder, to your SD folder, and you'll see the Nintendo 3DS folder is right here. After that, you're going to want to download this MSET9 folder from the second link in the description. Obviously, before you do this, you're going to want to extract it. We're going to want to select all of this and then drag it directly to the root of our SD. Now you may notice this finalize.rons and finalize.helper.firm file. You don't need these yet, okay? And then this you definitely don't need. So yeah, don't download these yet. I know they're in my link, but you need them later. Okay, now back to the MSET9 file. So what you want to do is open this windows.bat file, and then here it should come up with enter 1 for old, enter 2 for new, enter 3 for old, and enter 4 for new. These things here are very important, and I'll show you how to find it right now. When you're on your DS, you'll want to head over to the settings app, and then at the top right, it'll say version, and then a bunch of numbers. Now if it doesn't say 11.8 or 11.17, you want to press other settings and then scroll all the way to the right and then press system update. Okay, I accept. Okay, and then just wait for it to load. Now that you've done this, you're going to want to go back onto settings and then it should have changed the version. So now you're going to want to take your SD card out because we're going back to the PC. Now that you've figured out what version your console's on, it's time to use the MSET9 file. So if you had 1.17.0 like me, then you're going to want to click 2 for new 3DS or 2DS. Okay. If this happened to you, it's probably because the switch on your SD card is flipped the wrong way. Okay, so to avoid the mistake that I just made, make sure that the lock switch is turned off so the data can actually be encrypted. Okay, round 2. Let's see if this works. Now, what you want to press is 1 to create your MSET9 file. Then press exit. Now take your SD card out because we're going to take it back to the DS. Once you've turned on your 3DS or 2DS XL, it should come up with this SD buffer screen. Once that's finished loading, you're actually going to want to do something kind of strange. You're going to want to head over to the Me Maker app. Once you're on the Me Maker app, it should say creating Me Save Data. Once you've done that, you want to go back to the home screen and then over to settings. When you're on settings, you're going to want to hit data management and then Nintendo 3DS, and then you're going to want to hit software, and then it should come up with this little screen which says cancel or reset. You're going to want to hit reset. Now that you've done that, you're going to want to turn off your 3DS or 2DS XL because we're going back to the PC. Now that you've done that and you're back on your PC, you want to open the SD root again. Then you want to open windows.bat, click your number, then you want to check the MSET9 status. Now if all that is good, then yes, you can move on to the next step. But if it doesn't, it's fine. You can just redo the last step and it should be working fine. Press exit and then take your SD card out because we're going back to the 2DS again. Once you're on your 2DS or 3DS XL, it should already be hovering over the settings icon. If it's not, repeat the last 2 steps until it is. You're going to want to click settings, data management once again, Nintendo 3DS. Time you're going to want to hit extra data. Once again, we're going to do something quite strange. You're going to want to take your SD card out of the device whilst it's on. Don't turn off the console because we're going back to the PC. Okay, now once you've done that, you want to go back to your SD file again, hit windows.bat. So now that you've done that, you want to go back to your SD windows.bat, hit 2, but this time you want to press inject trigger file. Now what we're going to do, we're going to plug this in whilst the 3DS or 2DS is on and see what happens. Take your SD card out, take it back to the 2DS or 3DS again. Now that you're back on your DS, we're going to pick up where we left off. So put your SD card back in the console and then look at what happens. It should come up with a little buffer screen, but then quickly should go to this Luma 3DS boot up menu. So once all that's finished loading, you're going to want to do the button combo on the screen. A to continue. And then once that's loaded, it should come up with this Luma 3DS menu. You want to go all the way down and press save and exit because you don't want to change anything. any of these. Now, once you've done that, we're going to go back to the PC. Now, if you're as ecstatic as I am to play Doki Doki Literature Club in 4K on the 3DS, then yeah, we're pretty close. I mean, just take a look at this thrilling gameplay. Without further ado, we're going to be going back into that windows.bat file, press 2, and then this time we're going to press 4 to remove the trigger file since we've already injected it. Boom shakalaka ding dong. Okay, so do you remember them 2 files I told you not to worry about before? We need them. To get these files, you just need to go into the description. 3rd link and 4th link will be for them. So what you want to do after you've downloaded them is drag finalize.roms into the root of the SD, and then go on Luma, and then payloads. If there isn't a payloads folder, you can just create one yourself because sometimes it doesn't create one for you for some reason. And then you want to put the finalize helper.firm folder in here. Then you want to take your SD card out of your PC because we're going to take it back to the 3DS, baby. Or 2DS. We don't discriminate. We love all 3D lovers and all 2D lovers here. We're not sexist towards dimensions here, okay? 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, heck, even 6, 7-dimensional. Now that you've booted up your DS again, you're going to want to do this button combo to open the Rosalina menu. You want to press left bumper, down on the D-pad, X on the number pad, as well as select. Once you have done this, it should open up this menu. When you're here, you want to go down to miscellaneous settings, and then you want to go down to dump DSP firmware, and then nullify user time offset. After this, you're going to want to power off your DS and take your SD out. Now that you've done this, you're going to want to be extra ready, because I don't know if you're about to be able to handle how much coolness is about to exert from your screen from seeing the modding. But yeah, here's the next step, because we're about to enter God mode, baby. And I mean literally. Now you're going to want to put your SD card back in your DS, but instead of turning it on normally, you're going to want to hold X and then press the power button. If it doesn't work, repeat the last step and it should have fixed it. So press A for yes, and then you want to put the date that it currently is. Now that you've done this, you're going to want to press A. Now that you're here, you're going to want to press the home button. It should come up with this little menu. Down to script, press A, and then press A again. Now it should come up with this loading screen, and then it should come up with this error, which is completely fine. All you need to do is press A, because then it will import its own title DB for you. Then after this, you're going to want to do this button combo, and then it will come up with another loading screen, and then you're going to want to press A again. After that, another loading screen will come on, and this is when it's loading all of them CIA files. So this might take a while, so I'm going to skip it for you. Okay, now that we've just done that, I'm going to give you a rundown on what each game does, as well as teach you how to get the Hshop, which you can get totally legal games on. They're not pirated, no. Very licensed. If you have the games, you can use it. If you don't have the games, you can't download them, bro. I'm sorry, that's illegal. Don't do that. Shh. The Nintendo ninjas will come after you. Don't do it. Serious warning, guys. I sell these on a website, by the way. Link in description, by the way. What a beautiful segue. Link in the description. If you want a modded console and can't be bothered with all this hassle, well, you've already done it this time, but for your next console, like I say, PS Vita, PSP, Game Boy Advance, GameCube, Wii U, Wii, literally every single console, which is moddable, such as an Xbox 360 also. Link in description, guys. This isn't the end of the video. I'm just a quick little plug. Okay, enough talking. Let's go. Now I'm going to be giving you a brief rundown on what each CIA file does, in which you've just downloaded. So first we have Universal Updater. Universal Updater is like a catalog with a bunch of firmware and custom software which you can use on your 3DS, 2DS or DS. As you can see, it has a long list of firmware which you can use to customize and mod your DS. Homebrew. This is a software manager app where you can use and manage a bunch of software you've downloaded from Universal Updater. And then you have FTPD, which isn't really that important, but you can use it to connect your DS to your PC. Then you've got FPI, which is really useful, and we're going to use it in a second actually. You can use it for remote installs, managing titles, and a bunch of other stuff. And then we have Checkpoint, which is a save manager for different games you might have downloaded, such as Pokemon. Then next we have Anemone, which is a theme plaza and manager for a bunch of themes you can download and use on your 3DS or 2DS. Now, if you have been on Anemone and it says an error in the middle of the top screen, then this is how you fix it. You want to go to the home menu, press the top left icon, and then hit change theme. Once you've done this, it should come up with a buffer screen, and then you want to go back to Anemone, and it should have fixed it. Right, hello. So now we're going to be taking that back to the PC, and I'm going to teach you how to get a Hshop so you can get your totally legal and licensed games which you own, as I'm going to own you. Okay, guys, now once we're back on the PC, you want to go to Chrome, and then you want to search up Hshop QR code. Well, I think you can actually just type in Hshop, and it will just come up with this link right here. And now when you're here, you want to hit free HS, and then you see this right here. That's the QR code you want to scan with your 3DS. Now here's how you do it. So go back to your 3DS. So now that we're back on our 3DS, we're going to want want to power it on, and then create some folders to separate the mods and your normal apps better. It's easier to differentiate them that way. And a folder called apps. I'm going to put the apps in the apps folder and the mods in the mods folder. And then we want to go back to FPI, and then we want to go to remote install, and then we want to go to scan QR code. You want to point the camera at the QR code on your PC, and then you're going to want to click OK, and then OK again, and then you'll see that you've got some new custom firmware on your home screen. You want to unwrap it, click on it, and then you'll see that there's a bunch of options such as virtual consoles, and there's also different regions which include hundreds of games. It also shows how much storage is left on your SD. If I helped you mod your new 2DS or 3DS XL today, please be sure to drop a like and a subscribe. Maybe even comment something nice or hateful. Either's fine with me. If you're looking for a modded console but can't deal with all the hassle of modding it every time, head over to modxgaming.com. We got pre-installed games, custom firmware, emulators, all that good stuff, as well as 64 to 256 gigabyte variants for all consoles. Just go check it out. It's actually really good. I've put a lot of effort into it, so if you could just even take a look at it, that would be good. Maybe share it with your friends. So yeah, see you later.